The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin flying around the field. Starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for them four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a parting line. It's always in season and people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. If it's sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
What up, everybody? We back. Newest episode of the Star 5 podcast. As always, as I tell y'all can hit that QR code in the top corner. Get everything the Star 5 podcast related. Also, go to that thing, the next thing in the corner, hooksrubs.com. Use the promo code starting5 to get 20% off your order for some hooks, rubs, and spices. Like I said, we keep telling y'all, we keep reminding y'all, you're playing yourself if you haven't bought nothing yet. It's damn barbecue season time. It's grill time. Get you some hooks, rubs to put all over your meats, to add some flavor to your life. And with that being said, beware the dog.
Yo, what up, y'all? Beware the dog, wherever he may be. What's good, y'all? It is muggy like a mofo out here today. Like the blanket is out over where I'm at today. It's hot. But besides that, having a good week, great week. Looking forward to next week and the rest of the summer. It's going by quick. July is going to be here in like another week, dogs. This is not enough time. It's not enough time, man. I need it to be summer for like another 3 months.
Way too fast, yo. Way too fast. But next up, you should know the order by now.
Yeah, that way you ain't got to come and get you.
That way we ain't got to come and get you. But TJ just had to come and get you in the intro.
What up? It's your boy Big O. I'm back. You know, had to take a day, had to take a Sunday off, but I'm here again. I want to say I'm outside, man, but it's too damn muggy outside to be outside. So I'm indoors, back in the dungeon. But yeah, man, we got a great show, man. I can't wait to get started.
And next up.
Oh, hey, I'm happy to be back. Happy to be guesting again. You know what I mean? And I'm glad the air quality has returned to its regular state.
Word up. Man, as y'all should know by now, like the promo was quick, but we with the shits today. Man, listen. We with the shits. We got one serious topic that popped up on us that we just pre-show. We all kind of, for the most part, we all just seen something that just recently happened and we want to discuss it. But first and foremost, how y'all been? How's everything been, man? Like, first, I got to say, shout outs to my wife. Again, happy birthday. Your birthday was yesterday. Not going to say how
happy
old
birthday.
Is,
happy birthday.
But she's old. Secondly, shouts out to the homie Prime and Mike Sauce, the Saucer Company, the Sports Bar Podcast. I was on their show right before this one, Know the Ledge, just talking about hip hop memories, 80s, 90s stuff. You know, they're a little bit older than me, so I specifically could mostly talk about the 90s because I wasn't out there in the 80s like that. But go check them brothers out on their YouTube, on their TikToks, and all of that stuff. Thank you for having me again. They were guests on this show sometime last year. We'll definitely have them back again eventually. But yeah, man, I mean, I was on vacation this week. I ain't do shit. You know, gave the wife what I hope was a decent birthday yesterday. If I had more money, we could have done more, but did what we could do with the funds that I had. Went on a little happy birthday lunch date to a decent little barbecue place that, you know, the menu was kind of fifi foo in a way, like too many remoulades and peach this, raspberry that type sauces that doesn't need to be on regular barbecue. Just meat.
Just put barbecue sauce on it, goddammit.
That's it. Hooks rub. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, not bad.
This was out in Staten Island?
Yes, there's a place on Forest Avenue. I don't remember the exact name to give him props. But what we got was actually really good. We got chicken and waffles, and the chicken seasoned.
Oh shit!
The chicken seasoned immaculately, and the
was
size.
It juicy? Was it dry?
It was fried thighs that were, you know, filleted with the bone out and all of that, and the pieces were so big that like my wife damn near brought home her whole plate. She's not able to eat much. I was able to finish mine all but one piece of chicken, brought that home. And yeah, it was pretty that much. If we go back there again, I know to get that because it was pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, man. But how's everybody else been?
Good, man. Good. Yo, real quick, somebody forgot to mention off the show. Did y'all see? I think I sent it in IG. Did y'all see the Keith Murray video?
No.
Okay, yeah, no. We gotta. Oh man, all right. We might have to bring it up next week then, because yeah,
it was bad.
It is bad.
Well, last time I saw Keith Murray, he was blabbering on about having sex with girls and stuff, and he was out of pocket on a couple of videos last time I saw him. Like he looked like he's got some mental health issues going on.
Yeah, he on that shit hard, man. He on that. Lord Jamar posted it on IG. Yeah, man, it's what we all suspected. You know, when we saw those initial videos. Yeah, he definitely on something. You know what I mean? He looking like Gator in Jungle Fever.
That's not good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's not good. One of the last things I remember him was that horrendous battle that he had with Fredro Starr. Horrendous. If there was a battle rap joint that I implore y'all to not go back and watch, it was that one.
Wow.
It was that one, man. But
by both of them, man? Or just him?
By both of them. It was a terrible event. It was somebody out there trying to take advantage of two legends that wanted to battle each other, thinking that they can do today's kind of battle rap style, and it just didn't work. It sucked. But how's everything been with you, Tyrone? It's been a minute since you've been on the pod.
It's been all right, man. I got like I said, I got a little space now, so I've been doing a couple of episodes and getting back into it slowly but surely, like working my way back up to being where I was before I had my little breakdown. And then I thank you again because you brought me out of that, and you know it came from somebody I didn't expect, but you know I was having a hard time, and you brought me out of that, and I won't never forget that. Word. That it took a stranger, somebody who I just met on TikTok, to bring me out of a slump in what I was doing in my life. You know what I mean? Well, I still appreciate that.
And things like that, thank you for those words. And it's things like that you never know. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know who could be or what could be that one person, one thing, one moment that can change a picture and turn things around. You know what I'm saying? But a picture that's changed and is turned around is these Golden State Warriors. They made a trade for Chris Paul and Jordan Poole were the two notable names out of this entire trade that just recently happened during the NBA draft, which not much to talk about with the draft, to be honest with you. Like, I wasn't honestly familiar with many of the players coming out of the draft because I keep it real. I didn't pay too much attention to college basketball this year and must-see type players. Like, I understand Scoot Henderson is a decent player who's on his way to play with Dame right now, if Dame still sticks around, by the way. But the Golden State Warriors making that trade, getting rid of Jordan Poole for Chris Paul. First off, for me, for them to move on from Jordan Poole like that after paying that man, and especially seeing what we saw with the whole Draymond Green incident and all that, there might have been a problem with him. From my point of view, there might have been a problem with him. And to bring in another guard, which is the veteran guard, and understanding that the Warriors, like, they do like to sometimes, Steve Kerr does like to sometimes play those like small ball kind of lineups. I think it will be okay because of the way Chris Paul can command the floor, and he's going to create and open up if the Splash Brothers and him are all on the court at the same time. But in this move, I think Chris Paul is definitely going to have to be an off-the-bench kind of veteran. He's going to have
absolutely,
to be, especially during playoff
absolutely.
times.
You don't think he's gonna start?
No, he doesn't need to start. Steph is the point guard. He's not going to play the two, or they're not going to move Steph to the two. He'll solidify that bench supremely. He'll do what Iguodala did for them coming off the bench, I think. Not the way, Iguodala was with defense, but I think his floor generalship and the way he sees the floor and getting everybody easy buckets will make life much easier for that team. It's already a flowing motion offense as it is. Put him in that type of style of play, it'll be like taking kids from candy from a baby, especially against the second team units that are out here now. Not a lot of teams have great benches. So they should be slaughtering teams when the bench unit comes in, and that's really going to make the difference for them. Also, it's less wear and tear in his body, so you don't have to worry about getting injured as much because you won't be playing as many minutes as you've been playing before as a starter. So
in the playoffs, the playoffs,
yeah.
I'm not going
to. So I think they'll be all right. They just wanted to get off that contract. That contract for Jordan Poole was like ridiculous.
Yeah. After they thought about it,
it was $150 million.
But yeah, I think it's more important on who plays in the fourth quarter as opposed to the first quarter. First quarter fans, we all want to know who starts, But that fourth quarter, when it comes to crunch time, you're gonna have Chris Paul, Steph, and Clay on the floor together with Draymond at the 4. Or Draymond at the 5. Sorry, Draymond at the 5. And with that lineup, in the fourth quarter, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for any team, maybe besides Denver. Even for Denver, it's gonna be tough.
No. Oh, you want Chris Paul to beat you at that point. You want Chris Paul to beat you at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not you can't let Steph and Clay be open to just shoot shots. You're gonna have to let Chris Paul beat you at that point.
But Chris Paul's gonna be the orchestrator. He's gonna be the one with the ball in the fourth quarter.
My thing is with Jordan Poole, right? I don't necessarily think Jordan Poole was the problem. What happened was Draymond said that his thing with Jordan Poole is what caused them to not play cohesively throughout the season. And by the time they got it together, it was too late. So Draymond put it on Poole to say, this is why we was fucking up. Right.
So what you're saying is his podcast is what ruined the team.
Yeah, right. Because Draymond clearly he still ain't get over that shit with Poole. He still got a problem with it. Because after the season's over, why would you say that man was part of the problem? And then Draymond didn't sign his re-up thing. He opted out. So
Yeah,
Draymond
he
probably
opted out.
Jordan Poole was saying, you know, Jordan Poole is the problem here. He's the reason why. He kind of put it out there that Poole was the reason why they didn't win.
So how do
So
you say that that Jordan Poole? You let off with saying I don't think that Jordan Poole is the problem, but then just explained how everybody says in a
no,
way he was the
no,
problem.
I'm saying I don't personally think it was the problem, but I think Draymond kind of
I
put
got
that
you.
out there. Draymond kind of blamed him for it. So now on everybody else's eyes, it's like, oh, Draymond said he was the problem. Draymond's not going to play with him. We got to decide: we keeping Draymond or we keeping Poole.
But yo, elephant in the room. Elephant in the room. Jordan Poole had a bad season. To
Yeah.
top off that bad shot that he took, you know, in that last playoff game.
Come on, man. You know he got CTE from that punch. We know it. My man was
Wow.
suffering from CTE all season.
Nah, I don't know
But-
if that's CTE
Damn.
or
But I would
PTSD.
say-
That
but
might
I
have
don't
been
think
PTSD.
I don't think Chris Paul fits into this because kind of what Chris Paul does is the same thing that Draymond does. Draymond does that for them. When they need to facilitate, they need to get something going on. Steph can't get loose. Draymond is the guy that does all of that. So
Correct.
I don't see a use for Chris Paul other than maybe like
But
you
Chris
said,
Paul does it better.
being a bit. So what?
Chris Paul could do it better.
Here's my thing.
And you have to guard Chris Paul. They leave Draymond open all the time.
You don't have to guard.
Draymond does not have a jump shot.
You don't have to guard Chris Paul. Chris Paul can't get to the basket. All he can
No,
do is
that mid range game is deadly.
he can do the mid range, but you know that though. You can close out on him when he gets inside the three. He ain't hitting no threes. He ain't getting to the basket. He's an easy guard.
Do you understand when you have a floor full of facilitators the way that they have? And again, like TJ said, they have like a free flowing kind of offense that people are going to find their lanes and get open. And then especially when you have a person like Steph who he could create a shot from anywhere, guarded or unguarded. When you have a Chris Paul or Draymond who is the threat to bring the ball down and make the right pass, make the proper pass, everybody can eat immensely on a squad like that.
But Draymond also was talking about them being a cohesive unit. And now you're bringing in somebody else. Draymond's the problem here because Draymond doesn't know how to adapt to if something else going on. He don't know how to adapt to cohesion. So now if you're telling Draymond he's not going to be getting the ball in the fourth quarter, basically at all, because Chris Paul can do what he does better than him, is Draymond going to be able to accept that? I don't think so, man. I think
yes, because Draymond is going to grab rebounds and play defense.
No,
That's
but
all
he
he
likes
needs
to
to do.
facilitate too. He likes to have the ball in his hands too. He likes that.
What did Draymond do? What did Draymond do when Kevin Durant was there? What did Draymond do when? Because he didn't get the ball. It was him, Clay,
Yeah,
or
and guess
Steph.
what?
He rebounded and played defense. That's what he
And
did.
guess what?
It's gonna be the
Kevin
same thing.
Durant got in 3 fights that season because of that same shit you talking about. Kevin Durant and Draymond got in 3 fights that season because of the same shit you talking about. Draymond didn't get
Ain't enough
Kevin
ball.
Durant.
Ain't enough ball for you, Draymond. Ain't enough ball for
Draymond
you,
told
sir.
Kevin, we don't fucking need you. You forgot about that? We don't need you.
Mentioning Draymond, though, like I rock with Draymond. I like Draymond's game. I like the dude, and I'm okay with him opting out of his deal right now because you know what? He's earned whatever penny that he thinks he deserves. Whether y'all agree with that or not, I personally think Draymond earned whatever penny he thinks he deserves because he shows.
But he's not gonna get. Golden State is only gonna pay him more than that. I don't think he's not gonna make more than $28 million anywhere else.
No, I doubt that. Unless there's a team out there that has a young core that can use his veteran leadership. But I don't think he's gonna leave. I don't think he's gonna want to leave either, though.
I don't think Draymond's in the perfect position to win championships. He's in the perfect position to look good. He's on the perfect team for him. So I don't think him opting out was about trying to get no money.
When you opt out, it is about trying to get money.
I don't think it is because I don't think Draymond believed he was going to get paid more somewhere else, and I also don't think that him going somewhere else he was going to be the same Draymond. Let's be clear. Draymond works because of the system he's in, bro.
Facts, but also you do that to kind of slightly put pressure on the team that you are with.
Yeah,
look at well, that's but to say though, this is what these teams are offering me. I don't really want to leave y'all, but this is what these teams. You gotta at some time, you gotta play against the market. You gotta play the market. and it don't hurt him to. He's not going to make anything less than. That's not going to happen. He's not going to make anything less than. But you got to go. You got to put yourself out there to play the market,
right,
and see.
Who's his agent?
I don't know. We don't
you
get
know how
that.
Shaq left you know how Shaq left the Orlando Magic? Shaq left the Orlando Magic because Shaq said he won a certain amount of money. You know what the Magic told him? We ain't got that, homie. We ain't got that. We're not going to pay you that. And Shaq didn't get that offer from nowhere else. He was going to go back to Orlando. He got a last-second call. He was going to sign Orlando's contract for less money than he wanted. He got a last-second call from the Lakers saying Jerry Buss said he'll pay him whatever he wants. And that's the only reason why he left. So when Shaq bet on himself, he lost. And Draymond was definitely going to lose. Nobody wasn't going to pay Draymond that money.
Yeah, but when you
he didn't lose because he signed with the Lakers. He didn't lose. He made it.
That's exactly where I was going to.
Shaq lost. Shaq made it within 20. Shaq was 24 hours away from signing a contract for less money, bro. 24 hours away. He got lucky with the Lakers.
And guess what? He left and got chips. Still got his money. And then to be honest with you, Shaq beat the game 10 times over in life, period. So did he need the Orlando Magic's money at the time? No, because look at that man now. You know what I'm saying? He beat the game. But for Draymond, like I said, to me, it's perfectly fine because you got to play against the market. You got to play this is what they want to offer me. I don't want to leave. Let's work somewhere in between this. And I was going to say perfect, but it seems like just standard procedure. Sometimes you got to do that to get that couple million more. You know what I'm saying? It seems standard procedure. But all in all, though, back to the Chris Paul thing, like do I see it making the Warriors stronger? No. Do I see it as making them a little bit more versatile in their lineups? Yeah, because though you might take away a couple 3-pointers off the floor if you give Steph some time on the bench and put Chris in, you're still gonna have a decent scorer. But then if you have them, if you have them two on the floor at the same time, it creates guard and matchup issues. And you ain't got to worry. We ain't got to worry.
Yeah,
about,
it's not going to be a big.
Oh, my bad, TJ. But I was gonna say you ain't got to worry about either one of them putting each other on skates anymore and busting each other's ass and falling. They get to do it to other people now.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but it's not going to be much of a drop off if Chris Paul comes in for Steph. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not going to be much of a drop. It's going to be a different type of game when Chris Paul's in the game as opposed to Steph. That's all.
It's going to be a tremendous drop off when Chris Paul comes in for Steph. Tremendous. Steph's got to be covered 25 feet from the basket. Chris Paul don't got to be covered 15 feet in, and he don't got to be covered 25 feet in. So you can keep Chris Paul in that mid range. You can't do that to Steph.
I don't know where
Chris Paul Steph, you got to cover him. So it's going to be way easy.
Where did this come from that Chris Paul is not a good shooter?
I'm not saying he's a good shooter. Chris Paul's not a 3-point threat to me. I mean, he can make them, but he's not a threat. And he ain't getting to the basket. Chris Paul ain't getting to the basket.
Listen, but I think him being on the Warriors, he'll be a better 3-point shooter because he'll be just left wide fucking open all the time.
Hey, TJ, Dan, if you're listening, let's bet the over and under on when Chris Paul and Draymond going to get in a fight.
0. 0.
Yeah, I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet because Chris Paul ain't gonna fight you. He'll just kill you, but he ain't gonna fight you.
Take you to the backwoods of North Carolina.
Yeah.
But wow, choice words, TJ, of kill you, which is not the way you want to lead into a conversation like this. But
what is the Washington Wizards doing?
What are the Wizards doing? Who cares?
Rebuilding.
Rebuilding like they do every single year. The fucking Bullets.
Y'all talking about Chris Paul making a difference, but y'all ain't paying attention to Porzingis over in Boston. That's a problem.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. It's not a problem.
I don't know,
because to me, that didn't make Boston any better.
It definitely made them better.
Yep.
it makes them better by giving them a guy who can never stay healthy also. And they just got rid of Danilo Gallinari in that trade thing situation too, who we thought he was going to be somebody who would eventually add to that system, and he barely played with them.
Hey, he plays at least 65 games a year. I'll take that. I'll take 65 games a year of Porzingis over 82 games of Randle.
He's inconsistent. He's inconsistent, dogs.
Let's remember, Knicks fans,
and
he had him.
He's got to play defense. He has to play.
He's an adequate defender.
Play defense on that team.
He's an adequate defender. I mean, me personally, I wanted the Knicks to trade Randle.
Nobody is scared of going up against Porzingis. Nobody is scared of Porzingis when they go into the paint.
He can still give you 10 and 10. He's still a big body.
Has he ever averaged 10 rebounds in a season?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's averaged more than 6.
Boston's not looking for him to do nothing crazy, bro. They got their scores. They got their team what they need. They're not looking for him to do nothing crazy. He's just a big guy there that can get his points and do some things.
But here's the problem within that. You got rid of the heart of your Voltron. Marcus Smart was the heart of that team. I'm sorry. And Marcus Smart did all the little not dirty, but he did the dirty work. He did all the little things right that keeps Boston in games.
Marcus Smart is the reason the Heat beat them.
Porzingis ain't doing that.
Marcus Smart the reason they lost to the Heat.
That was this season. Marcus Smart was also the Marcus Smart was.
If you watch that series, Smart was doing bad, man. He was the worst player on Boston during that. Why? To me, as a starter, for what they wanted him to do, Marcus Smart didn't deliver.
I think, my opinion, I think guys like Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin overachieved. All playoff. And I think Boston wasn't ready for that. To a lesser extent, New York. By the time Denver got around, they game plan.
Oh, those guys were hitting shots that was on some phenomenal shit, bro. They was on another level with their game. It's just that New York wasn't.
Duncan Robinson was it wasn't. You've never seen that before.
It wasn't that New York wasn't prepared for it. These guys, like you said, they overachieved at their position. Like Gabe Vincent was damn near averaging almost 20 points. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Martin was coming off the bench and starting. He was also on like damn near another 20-point scorer. So it was a real team collective effort that got them to the finals. And then they got brought back down to earth by a Denver team who was much taller and bigger, and they just got dominated. They just got outclassed. You can't teach height. And they were clearly the smaller team in that series. Clearly. Jimmy Butler couldn't do anything with Gordon guarding him. He couldn't do shit. Just because Gordon can move and he's a bigger player, so he couldn't get around him. It was tough. Right. They ran into a brick wall, and that was it. It wasn't a good matchup. Matchup makes fights, and Miami couldn't match up with Denver. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Great. So Porzingis ain't doing it. It just that to me personally, I thought Boston lost that trade. We'll see what happens when the ball bounces on the court during next season.
Listen, I just want Randle and Toppin out of here. The Toppins. Okay, now I got to say the Toppins. I can't even say Toppin. I just want them all out of here.
And then what?
Replace them with who?
I don't know.
Replace them with who, bro? You got to make it make sense.
I don't know.
Exactly. This is what I keep saying.
But Randle. Listen. What we gonna do with Randle?
He don't have no trade value. So if you get rid of him, you're not getting shit back. So what are you gonna do?
Well, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. He's a 20-10 guy. He's a 2-time All-Star and a 2-time All-NBA player. You can't say you're getting nothing for him. The dude in the regular season is a monster. His failures come up is in the playoff.
Keyword regular season.
Yes, but hear me out. if we're not making a deal for Zion, then there's really nothing to talk about because there's nobody out there that's gonna get us over the hump this year.
No,
No
what I'm
one.
saying to you. Okay, so what caliber of player do you think you would get back for Julius Randle? Name a player that give me an example of a type player you would get back for Julius Randle.
Not anybody as good as him. Not any, I'm not always adamant about this man being off the Knicks. There's nothing right now where we can get to replace him. There's
You know
nothing out there. There's nothing out there.
Keep fucking up, Zion. Keep messing up. Keep messing up, Zion.
Julius Randle for Zion Williamson. He's got trouble going on outside of this.
That's it.
Thing. He's got health issues. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe you can get Zion.
Lisper. Here's the thing. I don't think Zion wants to play in New Orleans anymore. AD did the same shit. I forgot somebody else did the same shit before him. All the people that play in New Orleans end up leaving. They don't want to play there. Name a person who stayed in New Orleans outside of Brandon Ingram, who was even traded there. Like nobody stays there.
Yeah,
they don't want to be there.
Right.
So Zion being out,
Zion
being out,
Ingram.
and CJ McCollum. I mean, that's two solid dudes right there. With Zion, they could definitely make a conference final with those three right there easily.
But nobody can stay healthy.
Right. And their trainer is trash. Zion had a sore hamstring, and Brandon Ingram was out damn near 28, 30 games with a stub toe. A stub toe, dogs? Come on, man.
It's like we
it seems like people don't.
It's like we said last week. Like we said last week and the week before, man. There's just something about that trainer where it's just like, he's probably like, yo, maybe we need to just we ain't going nowhere. Y'all chill over here on the side real quick. We ain't going nowhere. Don't worry about it. Rest up, get your money.
But but Dan, how much of that falls on Griffin too? You the general manager. The buck stoppers with you. So you don't see. How is it that four of us see it on the podcast and you don't see it? You know what I'm saying? Like explain that to me.
He sees it.
He sees it. He has to.
He sees it.
It is what it is with them, man. It is what it is. But where we missed the opportune segue with TJ's choice words. The topic before we really get into the main shits. 3/4 of us just saw a video online a little while ago today where there was a young 14-year-old boy defending his mother, had to go to the car, get his mother's pistol, and shoot and unfortunately kill somebody who was assaulting his mother. And it looked like all they were doing was getting some food. I don't know what the argument was before that to even cause this man to get hype about a woman just ordering her food or getting her food. But the dude punched her in the face on some, say something again, say another word, and just hauled off on her, causing the kid, which we didn't see in the video. We don't know how big he was. We don't, whether or not, he was able to knuckle up with him or whatever. But 14 years old, shot and killed this guy defending his mother. I personally had no issue with it. You know what I'm saying? It happened in the city of Chicago, as the video said. But I just, for what described, I personally had no issue with it because you're 14. My daughter's 15. My daughter's only 5'5", 5'6", strong as shit. But I'm gonna expect her to defend herself, but not have to try to fully fight a grown man in order to defend her mother, unless she has to. You know what I'm saying? And the kid ran to the car, got the gun, and unfortunately did what he had to do. And there's a lot to be said behind the 14-year-old using the gun. A lot to be said about the incident overall. But yeah, it's a situation, where I don't feel bad. It's crazy to say it like that, but I don't feel bad because the kid, in my opinion, did what he had to do to defend his mother, who looked like she was getting punched on for no reason.
It's tough. I mean, there's a lot of blame, in my opinion, to go around. You know, the dude watching the video, he I mean, we're talking about Chicago here. I mean, in any big city is the same. It could have been Chicago, could have been Philly, could have been New York. You know, I'm not going to. I would hope that my mother does not get up in anyone's face. You know, a random young dude in his face and go and have a back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to see these videos of these mothers, these women calling their sons pretty much to fight their battles. Because if it has to be that, if you have to do that much, then it's not that serious. Then walk away. Because yes, this dude, believe me, I'm not defending dude. He was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Him saying, say another word, and then cocking back and hitting a woman was wrong. But having said that, now you called your son. Because she called her son. It wasn't like her son wasn't there. She called her son, and the son came up, got the weapon, and shot dude in the back of the head. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, now her bond is what, 3.5 million or something like that. You know, and this kid's life is forever changed.
Oh, she got arrested?
Yeah, she got arrested.
Her and her son both got arrested
for murder, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And the kid's life is forever changed, whether he's going to jail or prison or not. You know, so I mean, I don't know. Walk away. We're talking about food.
Yeah, but all right. But the way the video was displayed, if there was a walk away, it should have been the dude, because there was no reason to throw punches over food. Go ahead, Tyrone.
Here was my take from it, right? So, I don't feel sorry for the dude, because I feel like that 14-year-old was put in an awful position. Even if he's brolic, even if he's about that fight in life, you got to still understand this is a grown man. And when you're 14 and you see a grown man with grown man strength, grown man power, you don't want to get into that fight. Even for your mama, you like, listen, I can get into a fight with this man to protect my mama, or my mama got a gun in the car. I can easily end this. You see what I'm saying? So the mind of a 14-year-old is like
a mind of a 14-year-old
and protect my mama and end this. He's 14. He's not a grown man that thinks I can fight this dude. He's a 14-year-old kid that thinks this man might fuck me up too. He might beat me and my mama's ass in here. But we got a gun. This is what the gun is for. This is what my mom got the gun in her purse for. This Chicago. We don't play around. You know what I mean? He can't. It's too many thoughts in a 14-year-old's head to see a grown man punch on his mama like that. So he was put in a bad position. So I don't blame him. My thing is this. Even if you don't want to get involved, people was all about mind your business, mind your business. There was people in that store. There was a line formed. I saw 2 men. So even if you don't want to get involved, you don't know if that guy got a gun. You don't know if that guy might beat you the fuck up or whatever. But even a word, even a yo homie, chill out.
Yeah, chill. Yo, chill.
Like that could have been a deterrent. Something like that could have made that man think. When that man balled his fist up and said, I'm going to knock you the fuck out, somebody could have said, no, man, that's a lady. Don't hit her. Now, if he would have turned around and said, mind your fucking business, and I'm a coward, I can leave the store. I can go, okay, you know what? I'm not fighting them. But you can say, nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing to this kid. Nobody did. One word could have changed that whole situation.
Yeah.
And on that point is where I wanted to really get to within this conversation, because though I agree with you, and a lot of people these days like to, not disregarding, but forget the fact that, it's protect Black women, okay? Because this was a Black woman that was assaulted in this situation. As New Yorkers, you know what I'm saying? And we just seen this by way of that guy who killed the kid on the train, right? We move with this thing of like, mind your own fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong, New Yorkers, fellow New Yorkers?
No, you're not. You're not wrong.
In many of times, right? You get yourself you try to step in between, even verbally, you try to step in between something that has nothing to do with you, unfortunately, right? Now you can become a target. And especially with the way gang culture is now, where there's truly like no structure to shit, things like that. Not saying that the dude is a gang member. I'm just using as an example of gang shit, right?
Hold on.
So now you stepped in the middle of some shit that you had nothing to do with, and now they're remembering your face, right? And then now guess what? From some shit that you had nothing to do with, now you are going to be target and public enemy number one. To where this is why I express why people don't involve themselves in things anymore.
Okay,
but also, right. But hold on, but also too, just like this guy who choked the kid out on the train recently, right? Could he have just let it be? The dude was allegedly, mentally unstable, things like that, whatever. He could have, but now you involved yourself in some shit, and now you got charges on you. Or now you're the one that gets assaulted and killed for trying to be the good guy and things like that. These are just small reasons why people get back to the mind their own fucking business, because what can happen to me?
Well, here's my point.
I hate to say it like that, but
here's my point and how I personally feel, right? So if I'm on my business in that situation and it escalates to what it escalated to, I got to go home on my conscience saying a 14-year-old boy just killed someone. His life is affected forever. This woman was assaulted by a man, and I was there, and I didn't intervene. I got to live with that on my conscience for all of my days. And I can't personally, I'm not that kind of dude. I'm not that nigga to mind your business. But in your whole form, mind your business. You're right about that, right? So in that situation, if I'm one of those dudes that's worried about myself and I'm going to mind my fucking business, I'm not going to stay there and watch that shit. Soon as that shit escalated, soon as that man balled his fist up and said he was going to knock a woman the fuck out in front of me, if I don't want to intervene, I'm leaving. These people stayed there and watched all of that happen.
Right. But
okay, if I'm minding my business, hey, fuck that chicken, I'm out the door. I'm not going to watch no assault.
Yo, listen.
But here's the thing. Hold on, oh. But here's the thing with to what you just said. I get that you leave, but okay, you walk away, you leave. It's still on your conscience, because guess what? You're now gonna go home and look to see, what was the results of this shit. And the way the internet works now, news pops up like that, so you're gonna figure that out. And here's another point of the whole mind your business. Like, there's somebody that we know of, TJ. You might remember this story. I'm not mentioning who. I'm not mentioning the name. But he told everybody this story one time on how he tried to be the good guy in a situation of two people, of a domestic issue where two people were arguing, this, that, and the third, right? And he ends up getting stabbed for the shit. Right?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He ends up getting stabbed, and then the girl goes right back to the guy anyway.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So it's
I've seen that happen in real life.
Yeah, it's things like that it's like, like
where a guy and a girl is arguing and they end up jumping the dude for trying to be the good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's things like that where it's like, as a bystander, of course, I don't want to see shit like that happen either. But you get yourself involved, and this is just bystander talk. You get yourself involved in a situation that you ain't got nothing to do with. You don't know the backstory or context to any of it. You can end up getting hurt within the situation. So I don't get mad when I see people standing by, because I understand the times that we live in. Imagine if it was a 2-woman fight and you're a dude trying to get in the middle, like, chill. And then all of a sudden it gets turned around. Now you're getting charged with sexual assault for getting in between and touching a woman to block them and stop them from fighting each other. And you had nothing, and you had nothing to do with nothing, but now you got charges against you because you were just trying to play good guy. And then also within this rabbit hole, you now also got to think about the context of when this thing goes to court. Now, maybe there's the potential of you getting railroaded when all you were trying to do was be the good guy in the situation.
That's a lot that's a lot to think about, and I agree with everything you're saying. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying. But I'm saying for me, as I look at my old lady, as I look at my daughters that'll see me in that video and go, Dad, you let that man hit that woman like that in front of you, that bothers me. That's a lot of weight on my conscience.
I
So
feel you. I feel
out of
you.
sight, out of mind. If I feel as though so strongly that I can't help this woman, that I can't say nothing to this man, that I can't do nothing about this, I'm just gonna remove myself from the situation. What happens after that? I can leave. I can look my daughters in the eyes and say, I wasn't there. I didn't let that happen. That's the difference. Now I still would feel bad that it happened after I left, but at least I can say, hey, I didn't watch it happen. I didn't let it happen. I got the fuck out of there.
It
Because
shows that we were raised different. Let's just say, like,
Yeah.
we were raised differently, where we can understand
you know what I mean?
when the fuck to get up out of
But
a
for me,
situation.
it would be
You know what I'm
hard for me
saying?
to sit there. It would be extremely too hard for me to sit there and watch a man punch a woman in the face like that and not say anything. I
Yeah.
can't do it. I can't
As a
do it.
as a father of all daughters, married father of all daughters, once again, I agree with you. I'm just giving the opposite end of the fence to this is part why people don't step into shit. This is part of the reason why people don't step into shit. It's because there can always be consequences in situations, whether you know they are coming or not. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, yo, I mind the hell out of my business for everything that you just said. There's nothing for me to say. You know, you touched on everything that I wanted to say. You know, I have a friend. I have a friend that she any little altercation she likes to jump in. I'm like, nah, I'm good because I already see 3-4 steps down the road. You know, listen, yeah, I can get somehow get implemented somewhere one way or another. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I treat the world as my TV. You know what I'm saying? I watch, like, oh, that's crazy, and I keep it stepping. I don't, yeah, nah.
Like
That
TJ,
even though that is crazy, dude cocking back and punch her in her face, that would be a lot for me to take. Like I probably would say, yo, chill, like, yo, something. But yeah, nah.
right? I mean, and TJ, like you said, you expressed like you've seen this shit, especially in these New York streets. Like shit is tough. It's tough, and it's a really hard moral decision to make. Do you get involved or not? Because yeah, I agree with it. Sometimes I see certain situations and be like, why can't that be me in that situation? So I can adapt and what would I do in those
Are
situations?
you?
But a thing like this though, TJ, I don't. It sucks that this family has to go down with these murder charges right now. Hopefully, the judge and or jury can see otherwise out of this. But these are life decisions that get made that none of us truly want to ever have to make. TJ,
Here's my point to Big O though. He just said it. I use the
No.
word as my TV. No, he just said I use the word as my TV. And so for me too, that's the bad part about it too. Like I don't want to get involved. I want to mind my business. I'm leaving. But a lot of people is there because they want to see the shit. Like they want to see it. Like I don't want to see no shit like that. So if I don't want to get involved and I don't want to see no shit like that, I fuck that chicken. Like I said, I would have left that store.
word.
All right, yeah, no, definitely. I'm walking out.
Some people are there to see that
Fuck
shit.
the food. Yeah, fuck the food. I'm
You
walking
want
out.
to see somebody get. You want to see what. You know what I mean? It's action to you. It's entertaining to you to watch shit like
Nah,
that.
Right. But
Not you. I'm not saying you. Oh, I'm just saying that I believe that some of those people just like, okay, because why stay? Why stay in that? As soon as that man comes, why all those people stayed there? Is that chicken that damn good that y'all gonna stay in line knowing that somebody mom getting punched on?
right.
okay, but real quick, listen. This is Chicago. I mean, and I hate to. I've never been to Chicago, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just know what the media tells me. But it could be that maybe they're just desensitized to the violence over there.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying?
all
And again, I've never been to Chicago.
dude.
So I don't know.
You don't have to go to Chicago to be as desensitized like that. Because I tell you, a person like myself, I've been desensitized to shit like that for the most part, most of my life. Because I can tell you, we used to sit back and watch Faces of Death tapes and laugh at them. I've witnessed a guy fall in between train tracks and get fucking split open like this from the platform in the train. Like I've seen I've never seen somebody get shot before. I've seen many of fights. I've been in many of fights when I was younger, things like that. There is a level of dissent. And then the internet, especially the early Wild Wild West days of the internet, who didn't watch those beheading videos? Who didn't watch the 9/11 videos, things
Daniel
like that?
Pearl, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been desensitized as a people, but it's more a matter of getting yourself involved. And then now the issue is now turned on you. But Lispa, and I want TJ to make some points on this next, but the walk away aspect of all of this, I look at the guy who threw the punches and is now deceased. Why didn't he walk away?
But that's the consequence of his actions, bro.
Yeah. He was wrong.
Yeah, I'm exactly.
Yeah, he was definitely wrong.
Exactly. But if you want to talk about walk away, if it was that serious, if that chicken was that damn good, like you said, then why didn't he walk away? He could have lived to see another day. But we don't know the full story. We're just going off of a 30-second video. Go ahead, TJ.
And this is what bring me to where I was gonna say initially. Motherfuckers was in their feelings and their emotions, bro. Like on some real. How do you let yourself get that far emotionally over food in a fast food place to punch somebody in the face? Did they disrespect you and spit on you? Did
Punch
they
a
like
woman.
throw shit at you or something?
Punch a
Exactly.
woman.
Like why,
Yeah.
how do you get that emotionally unstable and just cold cock? Not just a woman, an older woman at that. Like, you know, you're senior. Like, where's the line of respect? You're like, you know what? You can say fuck you, all this, that, and the third. I'm ordering my food. I'm out. You know, talk your shit. I'm still getting this food and I'm out. And I can say whatever I want to you. Just don't approach me. That's all I gotta say. But this dude is what you're telling me. Walked up to her and just cold cocked her in her face after that. That's wild. Then after that, everything's off the table. Like you said, it's a fair game. The kid went back and got a gun for his mother. Like the line has been crossed. The line has been crossed. The ultimate disrespect has been crossed. And now you deal with the ramifications after. How do you get that so far gone that you don't take nobody into consideration? Like, you know what? I'll smack anybody. I don't give a fuck if it's a 6-year-old kid. He's getting the beats too. Everybody's getting hands. Like, where do you stop at?
And how many times have we witnessed, yo, I'll fuck everybody up in this place? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
and
like,
I don't want to exclude this to New York because you a Philly cat, Tyrone. We almost a parallel. It's just guns are a little bit more crazier in Philly than they are in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times have we been in spots and seen these types of things?
I've said it myself. I've been
yo, too many to count.
in a situation that I'm like, I will knock anybody the fuck out in here. I've said it myself. But there's a certain time when you become a certain age and you look at shit a little differently and you able to, I won't say it now, I'll guarantee you that. Right now I can walk away, but at certain times, certain ages, you don't.
But I'm saying,
walk away thing ain't in you.
Where's the click in your brain to say I'm gonna punch this woman in the face?
It's never.
Where's that coming from, bro?
That's coming from your parents. That's coming from.
Where is that coming from? You would have to.
TJ,
the only way I'm doing that is you should come and physically assault me first, and I gotta defend myself.
Right.
That's the only way that's happening.
When you say
even if then I might not even. Listen, I've had a woman try to punch me in the face several times, and I never thought that because I knew if I punched her in the face, what would happen. So
several times.
It's just like I still was able to control myself to the. But I had
okay, all right. We didn't talk. Damn, several times, my guy.
I don't know about that. One time I might have to. Give a little Timmy tap. You ain't got to try like your head on, but give a little something.
He indirectly said, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Exactly. Like, damn, dude, like.
But TJ froze, so this ain't fair that we jumping on him like this.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's I don't know, man. That that line just threw up my whole train of thought, boy. I was gonna jump in to say something, but damn, I done forgot.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing too, right? So it's also the culture, man. It's the culture of these young boys that think like walking away makes you a sucker. Walking away makes you a nut. You know what I mean? Letting people, whether it's a woman or a child, letting somebody disrespect you in front of other people, they get this mentality like, oh no, nobody's going to disrespect me, and they don't know how to separate. You know what I mean? It's like
You're so
the
right.
culture now of I'm not going to be a chump, I'm not going to be a sucker, and now look, now you're dead. You know what I mean? Like,
Man,
Yeah.
listen. John Witherspoon said it best in Friday. You'll live to see another day.
Yeah.
It's just-
But he
now
did
just-
that though.
No, but
He
that's
did that.
yo, that is the same. Yo,
I'm just talking to our conversation as a whole.
yo.
Like not the shooting, because to me, again, the shooting to me it's self-defense. It's defense, in my opinion.
I never brought up the dude that got shot because in my opinion, like you said, I don't give a fuck about him. I don't even care about the mom too much because the mom should have been like, hey, the mom should have been conscious of her son. She wasn't conscious of her son either. You arguing with a grown man in front of your 14-year-old son. A grown man that has threatened you in front of your 14-year-old son. You put your son in that position too. Because once that grown man said he was going to knock you the fuck out and you turned around and you knew your son was there, you should have said, come on, son, let's go. I'm sorry,
Listen.
sir, and you leave. You put your son in a bad position yourself.
Yes.
Nobody
I am
14-year-old
listen,
kid.
yo. Tyrone, listen. I am not a parent, right? But I've been
Oh,
around enough
okay.
parents, and I have good parents to know that a parent's number one job is to protect their child. She did not protect her child. And to me, that's where she is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because once you tell your kid to come out and do whatever, you're not protecting your kid.
Well, again,
You
we
know what
don't
I'm
know. We don't know the full scope of this, and I agree with y'all as far as the protecting the child. It didn't view like she told him to go get it. That was probably in his thought to, yo, I have to protect my mother, because we didn't see what happened to lead. We didn't see all of what happened to lead into that.
Okay.
We don't know if she was the one who started the argument.
I don't-
We don't know if maybe this dude was just being an asshole. We
He was
don't know.
definitely being an asshole.
Doesn't matter if she told her son or not. That's irrelevant to me because the fact of the matter is, she knew her son was there. They said her son was standing in the doorway.
The son wasn't there though.
No, I'm saying even if she called her son to come there, that's wrong. But once your son gets there, you want your son to see that. That man told you he was gonna knock you the fuck out. He warned you. He said, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. You say what I'm saying. So you bring your 14-year-old son into that, you know, or if I got into an altercation or a fight and I turned around and I seen one of my daughters there, I'm in that fight's over. I'm not letting my daughter see me get hit. I'm not letting my daughter see what I got to do to somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't want my daughter involved in any of that. So as soon as I see my child, you got it, homie. I apologize. You want the chicken? You can eat my chicken. I'm leaving here because that's how you protect your child. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if she called her son, she's double wrong. But even if she didn't call her son, if her son just heard some commotion, got the gun, came to the door, whatever the case may be, however her son got there, when she saw her son, shit should have been over.
Correct.
I can kind of agree with that, but to me, I'm still putting fault on the dude for punching her because, number one, why are you raising your hand to a woman?
He's not
Unless-
obligated to protect her son.
Regardless of that, because that is a piece to the dynamic of all of what we saw within a few seconds. But it should have never, for it to escalate past words. It goes to what TJ mentioned of what type of mental instabilities are you working with that you have to go punch a woman in the face, no matter if the woman called her son or not, no matter if the son was there or not. He got what he got because he rose his hands to a woman. Why? I don't see it. I don't perceive it because I'm not in that situation, never have been, don't want to be. And like you mentioned with the daughters, like I said, if for some reason I got to defend my daughters in that kind of a way, I can't sit here and tell you I know what's going to happen. If it's just a war of words, absolutely, we're going to just get away from this shit. We might talk our shit or whatever. I might talk my shit, but eventually you just get away from it because it's just words. And for it to go to fists, it went past words. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter, call, not call, it don't matter. It went past words as soon as that man decided to throw his fists. You get whatever the outcome is because you can't determine what the next person is going to do to you. You know what I'm saying? You can't determine if that 14-year-old is going to step to you and try to box you back, or ultimately what happened. You know, you can't tell somebody what their outcome for you is going to be. You can't do that. You can't do that. But from my eyes, from this video, the hands should have never been thrown. If the hands would have never been thrown, it would have just been another argument video on the internet, and that's it. That's why I'm not putting anything on the woman just from what I saw. Just from what I saw. I'm not putting it all on that woman just right away. Because it's what I saw, what we saw. Dude should have just never rose his hands. He would have never got shot.
How can they charge them with murder though? Like this was clearly self-defense.
No.
I don't know what more self-defense you need.
Well, based on the laws, see, that's the thing. That's where it's going to get fishy. If she called her son to there, knowing that her son had a deadly weapon, then they can say that that was the plan. After
the son went to get they said the video said that the son went to the car to get the gun. So I don't know where she called him. She might have called him like he was there, or maybe he was sitting in the car, but the gun was in the car with her. Now I get the self-defense is more if she did the shooting to defend herself, then you know. But yeah, it does get tricky because the son did the shooting. But the shooting would have never happened if the dude never punched her.
The other thing is that the son had a deadly weapon, and the dude that attacked the mom was unarmed, which means that he wasn't posing like the son could have neutralized the threat. But you're putting too much on a 14-year-old. That's my point again.
He couldn't have.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
That's what the law is going to say, though. The law is going to say he could have neutralized the threat. The law is not going to take into consideration that this kid is a 14-year-old who sees a man brutally attacking his mama.
Yeah, especially if he's a black child, which the woman was black.
In Chicago,
you're seen
they're
as
probably
an
going to
adult.
call this kid a gangbanger. They're probably going to go through social media and find some shit to say he was a gangbanger or something. This kid's going to go through a lot for this.
All in all, though, man, like we've seen the video, and it's just a shit situation overall, to be honest with you. And we just kind of talked about it from different angles, different perspectives, and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we're hanging our hat and our everything on what we mentioned. We're just giving this conversation in different angles for people to understand. And like I said, I personally, my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. And it sucks to say that we live in those kind of times where, people don't step up for things like that, or see people, if I was armed, then it could be a fair fight. Possibly if you got a gun too, different story. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I'm sorry. It's hard to be a bystander and not stand back and it's hard to be a bystander and take the approach of, I'm not getting involved within this because it ain't got nothing to do with me. But that's just unfortunately how society has moved. Because you, the bystander, can now get charged for murder for stepping into an issue that you had nothing to do with. I.e., I keep bringing it back, the guy on the subway.
Yeah.
The guy on the subway. And, I understood the dude doing it, but he didn't have to do it to the point of choking the kid out. You know what I'm saying? That's where I understand why he's getting charged for murder. You're stepping into some shit that you ain't got nothing to do with. If you sat there,
he was already subdued. Why keep putting pressure on the dude? Like he's not going anywhere. You got him locked up.
Right. And Tyrone, as wrestling fans, we know when you put somebody in a sleeper hold, there's a way to do it where you're not actually pressing on the arteries to make it look good. You could just hold them down and keep it around the chin. You know what I'm saying? But that's the choice he chose to make. on that train, unfortunately, because he stepped into some shit that he didn't have to step into. This is why we just fucking stay back and be like, my name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. And it
And I
sucks.
ain't gonna be in it. It means I ain't gonna be in the store.
There you go. There you go. But you know what else we ain't gonna be in? No time soon. We ain't gonna be in these motherfucking waters, son. We ain't gonna be up in Mother Nature's playhouse,
No.
you know, feeling like we king dingling of the earth. Meanwhile, we got Shamu and his cousins in them taking out boats and shit. I know y'all heard about these things where the killer whales. It was a story about how this killer whale was struck or was harassed by these people on a boat or some shit. And so the thought now is that orcas or killer whales, as you call them, which they're actually more related to the dolphin family, if you don't know your science like that. They have been smart enough to kind of take it back to their schools or whatever we call them as packs. And now they kind of
they're called pods.
They take them back to their pods. Thank you, TJ. And their pods be podding. And they've been taking their pods been podding. And it is funny that they're called pods, and we're going to talk about another pod right after this. But these pods been podding and taking out boats around like the somewhere in the Mediterranean.
People don't understand. Like the killer whale is one of the smartest animals in the water. You understand what I'm saying? Like they're organized. They talk to each other. It's a community. It's family. They hunt in packs. They usually don't even fuck with humans like that. If a human is hurt or drowning, or you in the water and some killer whales, they're just gonna leave your ass alone. They don't even fuck with humans like that until you fuck with them.
You ever see them play volleyball with a seal?
Yes, yes, they do that. They do that to teach their kids how to hunt, and afterwards, they play around with it and then they kill it. Well, they're killing it anyway by tossing them back and forth, which is wild to me. But they've gotten so smart; they can pull a seal off the beach shore and drag him back into the water. These animals are no fucking joke. They're super smart. They're super smart, and they learn. And first of all, we know shit about the ocean, what's in it, how deep it is, what's down there. We've been to the moon more times than we've been to the bottom of the ocean, like the rock bottom of the ocean.
We know more about space than we do about the ocean.
Yes, we don't have a fucking clue what goes on down there. We have an idea. We have thoughts. There's no underwater NASA space station. You know what I'm saying? That's where it needs to be at. Trying to figure out what the fuck is going on down there and how that works. Because there is nothing. That is the biggest clue. And it covers 95% of the earth. Like, what are we doing? We should know more about this.
Well, you think Sealab's not real? Sealab's not real?
You said Sealab 2020?
Yeah,
Nah, that is not a real thing. That is not a real thing, bro. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Ain't shit going on in the water, man. And we continue to just do shit to fuck it up. But we just don't understand. We just don't understand what really takes place down there. It's like every week they're finding a new creature they've never seen before. It's always a discovery in the ocean, not on land or in the air. It's always something swimming. That we went down 10,000 feet. We saw this wild ass fish today. You're like, what do you mean a wild ass fish? You should have known it was down there. How do you not see it? It's a lot going on in the water.
If we can't eat it, I don't give a damn about it. I'll be honest with you.
Everything is edible if you choose to try it.
Hey,
that's how we know certain things could kill you. But
if you can,
what's crazy about the whole situation with the whole thing with the sea and all that, and again, these people people in these boats and stuff not understanding how intelligent this sea life is and taking their lives in their own hands, just chilling on the water and then now they're getting assaulted by Shamu, as I like to call her. You know what I'm saying? We have this guy from this. We have this company, and I'm gonna get the name because I'm gonna pull up these pictures and these memes and shit because these shits are they're just gonna keep going on. From Ocean Gate, it said, "Please reset the, please reconnect to a controller." It's fucking hilarious. But like like the homie said in the comments, he said, "I can't believe y'all let them people go down there in that propane tank." This company, Ocean Gate, decided to build a sea craft, or what they call the submergible, which looked like one of like them drawings that we used to do as a kid to like make up shit. You know, they decided to go down there in this water to go see the Titanic. Some shit that we've seen on film. We've seen it in the movie theaters. We've seen it at home. We've seen it on HBO. We've seen it on Showtime, Cinemax, all the movie channels. We've seen the Titanic. We've heard the stories. We've seen pictures of the boat. These motherfuckers entrusted a company. Nah, I haven't seen no submarine. These motherfuckers entrusted a company who had this vehicle, unregulated, uncertified by anybody, controlled by, and I'm gonna shoot some bail on this, but controlled by this
Don't call no
video game.
PS4 controller.
Don't control by this video
Wasn't
game
an Xbox.
controller. $75 Logitech controller,
Player 2 controller.
which is 80. Shits came through when you needed the extra one, though, and you just broke one. You know, but they went in this thing with no understanding of how the machine works properly, first and foremost. Secondly, it's not even secondly, just they had no true understanding of how this shit worked. Because even my dumbass, who I am not military, I haven't been military, I understand though that a submarine has to have, or something that could submerge in water has to have the abilities to be able to rise back. Has to have the compartments within
Ballast.
Yes, within its form to be able to enact the right pressures to make the vehicle go back up and rise back up. This machine
And then I'm sorry, not to mention, if everything else goes wrong, you have a fail safe.
Which allegedly they had one fail safe, and obviously that one fail safe failed them.
No. You want to know who failed them? You want to know who failed them? They mama and them, their cousin and them, sister and them, little brother and them, all these people, their family failed them. Their family and friends failed them. Because if I'm a billionaire and I got money and I don't know what to do with it, and I talk to one of my family members, you know, they're going to say, give me some. You want to spend that money on that? Give it to me. Nobody would let me do that. If I went to my family and said, hey, I'm about to spend $1 million and go on that submarine and go to see the Titanic, my mama would slap me across the lips. Like, ain't no, like,
Bro,
who's letting them make
I
that?
am not getting in no shit with no window.
Nobody told them not
No
to do this.
windows, bro.
TJ, and that's the most bugged out thing about this. They had one little sight glass on the front, and you're telling me you went down there to look at this shit on a fucking TV screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not getting the shit. I saw the inside of it. It was cramped.
Well,
You could, if you were tall or had any type of weight on you, you're going to be uncomfortable that whole trip. You could barely stretch your legs out. They had 6 motherfuckers in that shit, and it had no windows, bro. Or if the lights go off and the screens go out, what the fuck are you doing? You're just like, oh, we'll get it back up, and then boom, you're gone. Like, what? You're in the dark.
Here's a short
It's pitch
video.
black.
Here's a short video of the BBC showing this thing off in 2022.
It's got one button, and that's it. Yeah, so we run the sub with this game controller. It's made by Logitech, but it's basically a Sony PlayStation style controller. If you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you press back. You want to turn to the left, it's like that. You want to turn to the right, you turn to the right.
And that one little window was the one window that you had to see anything.
You're getting in a submarine that the man just said got one button. Now every submarine, even when you have movies and fake shit, right? They got big ass computer screens, all kinds of lights going off, all kinds of shit going off in them joints, right? And they still get fucked up in the movies. So why would you get in one that got one button? Like, no, this supposed to be lit up.
And no windows.
I felt bad for little boy,
windows.
man. I felt bad for little boy. That's the only one I felt bad for. Everyone else, all them jokes I had on Facebook and on Instagram, yeah, it was for them and their family.
I'm sorry. This is another one I didn't feel bad for any of them, because I get it. As a billionaire, you want to try to do crazy, wild things. You want to try to do experience and shit that other people can't afford. This ain't one of them.
So if you're billionaire, all y'all billionaire uncle came to you and said, hey, I got 500,000, I'm about to go down. What you gonna say, man? Uncle, you better off giving me that money. Don't go.
Word. Exactly.
Yo, I'm gonna beg and plead. Don't do it, because I know you the cash cow. Don't do it.
Word.
So you mean to tell me the money gonna stop when you dead? No.
Uncle, I need that money for a chicken joint. I'm a fake an emergency. Uncle, I just lost, my house just burnt down. I need that money. You know what I mean?
I'm sitting there on the side of the house with a light
on. House on fire to stop him.
My whole house on fire for that.
We talking about the jokes and everything behind this shit. This is one of the funniest TikToks I seen on this whole joint.
We still got people butthurt about all the jokes and memes about the little mini submersible. But you know what? I'm finna go and give it to you like I should have gave it to you in the first place. Because I don't think y'all realize how much restraint I done actually showed. First of all, I didn't tell not a damn one of them motherfuckers to jump their ass in that little dildo and let a man boat their ass in with a cheap socket set from Harbor Freight. I also wasn't the one that woke up and said, I want to go see dead people. That little Xbox controller might help you convert 3rd and 30 on Madden, but it ain't going to help you convert 4th and 35 feet. Come on, now, you can't have comment over here and sits over here. You got to run them motherfuckers together for it to be effective. We all going to die one day, but I'd be damned if I stand up and volunteer a tribute. Seriously, who the fuck you trying to be? T'Challa? That was a vibrator. I don't never want to have them type of problems where I got so much money, I got to figure out how I'm going to get on the episode 1,000 Ways to Die. And it's one thing, when I do that, you ain't going to have to spend $250,000 to bury my ass. Just cremate me and pour my ass on the burn pile in the bank. Don't even think about spreading my ashes across no ocean or nothing. Hell, I don't even want my soul to drown. You say whatever the hell you want to say about it on red, but look here. You see that? That shit taste good. Keep playing with me because I give 0 fucks.
And that's the crazy thing about this is how we as a people, like, we don't care, because there's a video I seen on a TikTok account, Good Morning Bad News, where they broke it down excellently on how and why these jokes are flying from people like us, where it's like it's because we don't relate to billionaires and we don't have connections to billionaires, and billionaires seat themselves where they act and think like they're above everybody. And so this is part why we don't give a fuck.
That
was my exact point. I was about to say, I'm laughing at these jokes because I'm poor.
That part.
You got everything you need in life. And you got everything you need in life. And here it is. My poor black ass is going to work and suffering. And I'm mad at my daughter when she want a pair of sneakers and I ain't got the money and shit like that. And you got all the money you need in life. And you choose to die. Like that.
Yo, because like he said, yo, you choose to. It's almost like they chose to die. TJ,
right? You chose
in a fucking sea craft that was created by a kindergarten art project that had one button, one window, Logitech controller. Like, forget, like, if Logitech's stock did not go up because people. No, it either should crash or go up, because either people are gonna buy them and say, "Oh, if you can control some shit like this, then it should work on my game system," or people are gonna say, "Nah, Logitech failed them." But that ain't Logitech's fault.
No, they failed themselves.
Exactly.
They failed this.
Stupidity is their problem. Because like I said, yo, if I was a billionaire,
Bro,
I would want to do some adventurous shit, but not to those depths where we don't understand the pressures of the ocean. Would I want to go to space? Absolutely, I want to go to space. But I'm also not going to go to space in a fucking, like I said, child-made craft, that gets bolted from the outside and I can't get out of from inside.
But then he must have convinced the hell out of these people to do that.
no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I work for a luxury travel agency, and that's about what it costs to take this balloon into space. The shit is sold out for the next 4 years. It's 250 or 280,000 per seat. It's sold out for 4 years. It's a balloon that takes you up to space. You're up there for an hour and you come back down. It's like an 8-hour trip in total. They don't have to convince nobody. You can go down 12,000 feet to the ocean. This is something that's done by maybe 100 people in their lifetime. The billions of people on this planet, a very small 1% have gone down 12,000 feet into the ocean. That shit is nuts,
dude. And
it
to say that balloon,
insane.
it doesn't even bring you into space. Like, it'll bring you to the edge of the earth.
See, but here
That's
goes some
about
more
it.
stupidity.
Yeah.
I just seen the comment. The guy said that they had to sign a waiver saying they might die. If I got to sign a waiver to do something that's saying I might die, I'm not doing it. I'm just, oh wait, I got to sign paper saying that I might die doing this, and I have no reason to do it. I don't have to. I sign a waiver. They say you have an operation that you might die, but we might save your life. I sign that, but I'm signing a waiver to say that I got to pay for something that might kill me. You got
$250,000 to die.
No.
That's what he said, Dan. We can't relate to billionaires. 250,000 is like spending a G for vacation or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's light. It's light for these people.
Like, here's another adventure that this guy is gonna sell us on.
You want to know what it's like to go inside of a volcano? Well, for only $15 billion more, you and me can take a trip in my new vehicular device. This is the Lava Prowler. 100% safe, 100% immune to lava. There is no risk at all. It's just powered complete. God, for navigation, I just wanted to keep it simple. Nintendo DS is not a problem. Do we need a little bit of light in that volcano? Because there's no light at all. Somehow, light. As you can see. What if you got a doo-doo? What if you got a doo-doo? That's what everybody wants to know. They keep asking me. Well, check it out. I've got a personal bathroom right there. Please. I welcome it. I want you to. How's this thing going to move? You want to know how this thing moves? Oh, I'll show you. Check out the guts of the thing. Mario.
I mean, why not? Why not? It's like you said, right? It's a drop in the bucket for the entitled. Yeah, 250,000. I would rather go freaking buy a Bugatti than I gotta spend $100,000 a year on just for maintenance.
Here's the thing, Dando. You said it yourself. If you had that kind of money, you would want to do something crazy, something more explorative than a normal man, right? But you said it. You picked going to space, right? But even if I had the money, yeah, I might want to go to space. But NASA got a protocol for that. I'm doing
exactly
training. I'm going to the space station. I'm going to NASA. I'm going to
say that shit.
They done had these missions. They done been up there and back. So yeah, I can choose that. NASA been up there and back. They know what they're doing, and it's going to take me 6 to 8 months to get ready. But if somebody came up to me and was like, "I made this space shuttle in my backyard, and we can just jump in and go," you know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. Exactly. There's rules, there's regulations to certain things. Like, yeah, I get it. You want to feel
a car don't even have one button. You know what I mean? The car you get in and drive down the street got more than one fucking button.
Yo, that button looked like he got the red ring of death and just turned off.
And it didn't even make no sound. It didn't go boom or nothing. It didn't even make no sound. At least you turn the Xbox on and make the noise boom. You know the shit working.
Word, you could have gave us the PlayStation sound or something, you know.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, the conversation.
The Windows intro and shit. Doom, doom, doom.
Is this shit on?
Right?
Is this shit on? Never mind. I'm getting out.
But
I
it's
ain't
like the conversation behind this though is it's just that the unrelatability that we have to billionaires and
Yeah.
why we don't feel bad. Like it's crazy. And you want to kind of say, oh, this is sad. This is no stupid games can win you stupid prizes.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know
But
why
there
it
is
ain't sad to me?
go ahead.
Did y'all hear the story about the stepson, one of the guy's stepson? And he was being harassed for not caring too much. They was like, "Oh, you're out partying, you're out living your life, and your stepfather is in that thing down there." And you know what he said? He said, "I got $100 in my bank account." So I don't give
And
a fuck.
I'm so glad you segued that in because
Ground rappers, like how the fuck did y'all go underwater and get packed up? The sun
That's
get
what I'm
packed up,
saying.
y'all didn't come back up. Like how the fuck y'all die on the
But
trip?
he's supposed to feel bad when his billionaire stepfather had his billionaire stepfather, and he said, "I only got $100 in my bank account right now, and y'all want me to feel bad about him?"
it said the R2 button got stuck.
Oh, that happened.
Oh, yeah. We're still going. We're still going.
Yo, don't act like you ain't never pry your R2 button out. Don't act like you ain't never stick something in there and had to pop that joint out a little bit.
Oh, I've had to do
Oh.
many. We've had to do many
Yo,
surgeries.
that
on
Sega
controllers
Genesis
over here.
controller used to do that all the time. Remember the Sega
Yes.
Genesis? Them buttons used to jam in there every day. You had
Yes.
to pop it open, pop that little, make sure that little metal thing popped back up and down, put that button back.
Yo, Dan. Let's talk about the other side of the story though. As far as the Navy knowing that these motherfuckers died back in on Sunday. And they had us believing, oh, well, there's 4 hours left. Oh, there's 6 hours left of oxygen. And we're gonna keep hope alive. And they knew the whole time.
Don't
You know what I'm saying? So the media, CNN, MSNBC, I don't watch Fox. I don't know if Fox was saying it. But all these networks were saying, like, they had a little countdown of this us rescuing these people that were dead back on Sunday.
You want to know why? You want to know what that is? Oh, they were trying to garner sympathy from us, and none of
That
us
shit backfired.
did it.
Well,
That didn't work out.
y'all don't think that maybe the government feels like maybe the Navy, maybe these people that's talking feel like they had to keep their hopes alive because they got accountability in this too, right? Like, where's the Navy at to say, hey, don't y'all do that? Like, the Navy didn't tell these motherfuckers, like the Navy, it's the Navy. This is what we do. We work in these waters.
No,
We
because
build these
the Navy wasn't there to watch them build it. Listen.
I know, but the Navy couldn't
You know what
say,
I'm
hey.
saying? These
The
guys did
Navy
it.
couldn't, but the Navy couldn't say, hey. The government of the United States Navy couldn't say, hey, before y'all go in there, let us check this thing out.
No,
let us
because
look at it.
to
Let
my
us-
understanding, also with a company like this, to skate a lot of governmental laws and rules and stuff like that, and proper certifications and things like that, they purposely went to international waters to stay away from. And this is why allegedly they did their tours away from U.S. government and things like that to avoid such things. Which again, you purposely avoided safety measures.
So as a Navy, if I'm in the Navy, United States Navy General, and I knew this thing was happening, and I knew they went to international waters to avoid all of this, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna get on Fox News. CNN, Fox News show all the bullshit. Why the Navy General, the leader of the Navy, the President of the United States, somebody should have got on TV and said, hey, look, they in them international waters because they don't want me to say this shit. They don't want us to inspect it, but I'm saying this shit. Nobody should do this. This ain't right. They're going to die. You know what I mean? Like,
they didn't preach that.
Probably, I'm sorry. Probably because the president was dealing with his own shit at the time. During last week, he was dealing with his own son going through what he was going through. Just happened to fucking be when this whole submarine thing happened.
It could have been, but also why I even know that was the thing is because a video that I did see did express why this company was able to do what they did. It was because they moved outside of American control to be able to not have to abide by governmental rules and laws and things like that. Because the government, if that person didn't do that, the government probably for damn sure would have said, nah, you can't do this.
That makes it worse. That makes it even more stupid.
It is.
You live in the United States and you telling me that these people was going outside of your government so that they could take you down in this thing. You still agree to do it? It's like, come on now, they're telling you, hey, look, you got to sign a waiver because you might die. We can't let your government get involved because they ain't going to let us do it because you might die. It's $250,000 that, yeah, it might be a drop in the bucket to you, but it can feed a whole bunch of kids in my fucking neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? All of this, you got to spend money, you might die. Waiver, you might die. Government going to sell us, not going to let us do it because you might die. And all of this stuff is told to you, including that. I know your wife said, please, honey, don't go. I know some of your kids was like, Dad, this don't make no sense. I know that some of your people, your family, your friends told you don't go. So all of these things you had against you still spent your money and took your ass on that thing.
Yo, I mean, it happened on Canadian waters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It happened on Canadian waters. So,
now, shout out to the homie Curry. He said, and the conspiracy story is that they would have uncovered the plot from J.P. Morgan that sunk the Titanic and take over the U.S. banking institution. That is huge freaking conspiracy theory.
Not J.P. Morgan. I think it was the Rothschilds. I saw this morning it was the Rothschilds.
You don't. Point is, to be honest with you, you don't even need to go see the wreckage of the Titanic to understand all that to be true. The Federal Reserve ain't federal. And I rest my case on that. And then like he was mentioning about when we was talking about money and the 700 migrants that sunk in that boat didn't get any attention. Talking about the people on the Titanic and things like that. Like, yeah, I mean, all in all, to go that down far, like, would I like to know what's down there? Absolutely. That's why you send fucking drones and cameras instead of live bodies. Send pieces of equipment that might be able to, and build a proper piece of equipment with cameras on it that might be able to give you, might be able to withstand the pressures of underwater. But you don't put a person on it.
Hey, Dan, what? The Titanic sunk in 1912, right? Something like that. Why would you even fucking care what's down there? Well, you said you would like to see what's down there. Tell me why you want to know what's down there.
Because, like TJ said, what type of creatures and things that we haven't seen.
No, I'm talking about the Titanic. They went down there.
I don't give a damn about the Titanic. Like I said,
them motherfuckers went down there to see the boat.
We've seen it in movies. There's pictures of it online. We don't need to see that shit for 250,000.
You went
but
down
here's another point. Here's another point, Dan. You've driven the big trucks, sanitation trucks, or whatever. You already know that day one, a truck that comes off the lot, day one is not the same. It's not going to have the same integrity as a truck that's been on fleet in a fleet day 437. So how many trips has this submersible going down to see the Titanic?
3.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are the questions that I need. I'm asking myself.
3 times.
You said 3 times?
Yeah.
Too many. Too many. 100,000 feet. Too many. 8.
Bro.
It's 8. What did it say? 8 Empire State Buildings.
Bro, it's 12,000 feet in the ocean. That shit is nuts. 1,000 feet is too deep for me.
Yeah.
15 feet in a pool is too deep for me. You know what I'm saying? A 15 deep end on a 15 foot in the pool. I did that. I went down one time. I swear to God, it took all my strength in me to get back up to the top of the water again, because it was, you look up and when you're at the bottom of a 15-foot pool and you look up, that shit is scary, dog. It's scary. It puts you in perspective. As you got in the ocean, you're a dot. You're less than a dot in the ocean. We see all these huge ass cruise ships. If you take the cruise ship and expand out, it's a fucking Matchbox car. in the ocean. That's what you're equating it to. This
And
is
What they say? An elephant standing on a postage stamp.
And TJ,
Right.
like, just say, like your example of going down in the bottom of a pool. Just even we've all done it and went and tried to touch the bottom of a 10-foot pool, but the pressure that you just feel alone from that, like you feel the oxygen
Yes.
leaving your body without breathing, going down that far.
Your ears
just
are
to touch the
popping.
bottom.
You know what else it is too?
Your ears are popping.
You know what else it is too? Even if you can't swim, you know when you're a kid and you go into 3 feet and you tall in the 3 feet and you go and you kick off the bottom, you don't put forth effort to pop your head back out. So when I'm in the pool and I kick off the bottom and my head don't automatically pop back out, I get to the point where I actually got to swim out that motherfucker. The panic still comes in, even though I know I can swim, I can get out. You still kind of panic, like, wait, I kicked off the bottom and my head didn't come out this fucking water. You know what I mean? You still get that, oh shit, I got to do something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. It's great. It's ridiculous. So he said Mariana Trench. You don't know Aquaman or Namor? Forget about it. Like, nah. They ain't no going down. Exactly. They ain't no going down
I
there.
feel like
Unless...
if I was Aquaman, I would swim up to that thing and say, "What the fuck is y'all doing?"
Exactly.
I'm gonna die, man. It's stupid. I'm leaving. Aquaman ain't saving.
Only thing I know that went down to Mariana Trench was Megatron.
And what's crazy is, again, because we're talking fail safes, we're talking just safety measures of the equipment alone. They didn't have the proper setup to have that piece of machine make a safe return back up anyway. So it literally was like they went down there to die.
You heard the guy, right? He said safety. He said if you're worried about safety, you might as well not get out of bed in the morning. That was the owner of the guy who built it. That shows you what he thought. That's what shows you what he thought of his life.
Right. Right.
The hell would you think of your life? What about it?
No, it's my boat. I'm gonna make it the way I want, how I want, and it's gonna do what I want it to do until it doesn't. And that's exactly what happened until it didn't.
Word.
That dude flouted every possible way to make that sub. Like you said, he went outside the country to avoid regulations by the Navy, probably the Oceanics, whatever, the people who stamp subs for approval. He flouted those rules. He cut corners. This is what happens when you cut corners.
Yeah.
You can't cut corners with your life. You cannot play that game. You will lose every time.
Every time.
Mother Nature is undefeated, bro, in everything. Mother Nature is undefeated in everything. You cannot beat it, no matter how hard you try.
I'm still fucked up.
Mother Nature shut down the internet too.
Well, I will say, to wrap this up, as I believe it was Cuddy Ranks, right? 6 million ways to die. Choose one.
Choose one.
or us TikTokers, we know this sound very, very well. Dumb ways to die.
6 million ways to die. I'm choosing in my sleep.
Man. Imagine hearing the prices right.
Exactly.
Imagine when the shit cuts off in the sub, you hear whoop whoop whoop.
Oh, that would be real fucked up. That's the only thing that worked.
Yo, right after that, you do the Cleveland. Yo, TJ, right after that, you do the Cleveland.
Yo.
Wow.
I'm gonna consider my jokes. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I have a whole, like in the words of Clubber Lang, I got a whole lot of mo. I got a whole lot of mo with jokes, boy.
Well, I mean, this was the funniest sound that people put to it, though. People put that shit to the video, and yo, I'm sorry, us gaming that played Sonic the Hedgehog, grew up on Sonic the Hedgehog like that. You are very familiar because
Man.
just think about the pressure of that sound alone in the game
Right.
putting on you. Forget the actual pressure of the water. The pressure of that sound effect getting higher and higher and higher and increasing. Like, damn it, I got to get my head above or catch one of
Yep.
these bubbles.
The
that
air
was
bubbles, right?
Dan, let me tell you something.
Yep.
Let me tell you something. Back in the day, me and my brother were down at doing a family beach trip, and the undercurrent was fierce that day. And bro, when I tell you, me and him were fighting for our lives to get back to the shore. Me seeing my daughter like at 6 years old, she's like, "Daddy, get out the water!" And I'm fighting for my life. Bro, that's a fear you can't imagine. You cannot imagine that, bro. Because every time you took a step forward, you got knocked back 3 more steps, bro.
Yep.
And we're walking sideways. We're doing all kind of zigzag shit to get in 3 feet of water. It was not even waist high. It was knee deep. And we could not move, bro. The water is not to be fucked with, man. Water is not to be fucked with. You cannot fuck around, bro.
It is one of the most dangerous, probably the most destructive thing on the planet. Yet it is the most necessary thing on this planet because it gives life, it brings life, and we need it to survive. We just don't need it at 12,000 feet below. we just don't need it that far. You know what I'm saying? We need it in a cup.
In a cup.
Drinking the shit. That's about it. But now I think we all gonna move. You know, I mean, hey.
Wait, don't you need it in your toilet too? Hey, wait, you need water in your toilet too now.
Oh yeah, we got to get that shit down somehow. I mean, actually, you could just go dig a hole in the back, shit in it, and cover it up, and you make other life grow, fertilizer. You know what I'm saying? But this just now further proves why black people that have pool parties stand around the pool parties. You know what I'm saying? Those who can't swim.
Wow.
Swim.
I can swim. I can swim enough to save myself. I don't know if I could save anybody else, but I damn sure can swim in tread water to save myself.
I could do that. I'm just never, ever, ever going to try to do it from more than 10 feet.
Come on, let me just say something too, right? When you were a kid, it's cool, right? But when you were grown up of a certain age like me, is swimming even fun? Like, I don't even want to go fucking swimming.
It's exercise.
I get in the ocean to play with my kids, but to actually get in the pool, if I get in the pool in this morning, I'm not going past 6 feet. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's not that entertaining. It's not going to swim around.
Yeah, it does get to
unless you got a diving board. Fun. It only works if you have a diving board. You got a 10-foot pool, you better have a diving board or a slide or some shit attached to it. Otherwise, it's unless you're a professional swimmer, it's not necessary.
Yeah,
at all. Say, grave diggers 6 feet deep is deep enough for me.
Yeah, right.
I'm not afraid of 10. I can swim.
I can stay in an area where death is not an option.
even though we can drown in a puddle. we can drown in a puddle, but 12,000 feet is just not an option. He said it. I side with the orcas. We do too. From fucking land. From land. My Oreo brothers and sisters down there at the bottom of the ocean, we with you. We gonna
whales don't even go down 12,000 feet, man. Whales don't go down 12,000 feet.
Dog,
I think
sperm whale goes down 10,000, I think, or something. It's light.
Oh,
it's light. Like the big creatures don't go past like 10,000 feet. Like,
what about squids?
There's no reason to be down there. And like
they say that there's
4,000.
They say that there's giant squid and shit like that though down. Like there's shit down there in them depths that we will never see, we'll never know about, that are living. But because they are made to have adapted to those depths. We are not one of them. We are not one of them. Cardboard cutout submergibles are not one of them. No. No. So if you want to spend $250,000 again in your future for a wild ride and wild times, you can pay us at Start Our Podcast, and we'll podcast butt naked on YouTube with no strikes. You can also
Dan will.
Yes, Dan will. You ain't man enough. I'll
My hands up. My hands up for that.
250,000 butt naked podcast on
Butt naked.
YouTube.
Right here.
I'm 250,000. I'm in. I don't give a fuck.
Let's do it.
For waist up?
Let's do it.
Okay, we're doing waist up. Okay.
Let's do it.
Nobody's
Who's gonna
calling
pay for
you.
waist up?
Shout out to everybody celebrating Pride. You know, there's only O is shaming y'all right now because he's scared.
No comment.
Shout out to everybody celebrating Pride Weekend and Pride Month. And all
Hey,
that.
if it gets us more followers, I'm for it. You know what I'm saying?
For 200,
All right, man. Yeah, listen. As long as we do it during the summertime, we can't do it during the wintertime.
$250,000. I would do David Blaine's ice block freaking magic trick for an hour for $250,000.
Everybody's got a number.
Stand in the middle of Times Square.
About to say that. Everybody got a price, boy.
Well, the $1 Million Man also said it, but everybody's got a price until you got to steal from the welfare system. But I digress on that. We're done. He was a part of it. He was a part of it. They was all a part of it. Brett Favre, fuck them. But anyway, that's enough. We dug deep enough while staying 10 toes down to the ground. Tyrone, you know what to do.
What happened?
We're done. he was looking for the 250,000 in the date to that naked pod. He was looking for the date to the naked pod.
I'm about to take it off right now. I ain't know. Like I said, I enjoy being here. I'm glad to be welcome back. You know, I'm glad to be back on. I missed it a little something. I was doing other things, but I'm glad to be here. And shout out to you guys, and shout out to grown men having discourse. Shout out to people who can disagree without it turning into some crazy shit. You know what I mean? We can have arguments
without gunshots.
We can disagree, and it don't turn into nothing. Don't turn into nothing, man. And that's even. And that I want to.
That's because we
said about the whole wrestle talk thing. It's like, why is people letting wrestling get them emotional? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
because they can't control their emotions. They can't
that we
control
can
their
have
emotions.
this as grown men and not fight and laugh and joke. And at the end of the day, we can say, I holler at you, and everybody is still cool. And I appreciate that. And like I said, I always appreciate you guys welcoming me into, you know, what you guys were doing, because y'all don't have to have me here. So I thank you for that. And that's where I'm at.
We're gonna talk about bringing you back more often, I think, in the near future.
It's a little wrong with me.
Yeah, but yeah, you mentioned something. Hold on, you mentioned something. Let me show y'all this before y'all go with the shout outs. You mentioned emotions and wrestle talk, and I gotta show y'all this comment because this is clear sign that you're an incel. Right? Where's the comments? This guy posted the video saying when your girl chooses between her or Money in the Bank, which is the pay-per-view coming up, and it's just one more thing. Bye-bye, bitch. And it's Seth Rollins saying bye-bye, bitch, right? And I commented, well, somebody's commented real, there's no girl. Somebody said I don't like Seth. I said Money in the Bank can be replayed. If you got the WWE network, you know this. And this guy said it won't hit the same. So I responded with, neither will your woman. He goes, huh?
The perfect response.
Tell me you're an incel without telling me you're an incel. Huh? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all understood what the fuck I was saying.
Right.
This grown man. Yeah, you push your woman.
It won't hit
like
the same.
You push your woman off to the side like that for a fucking wrestling pay-per-view that you could replay at any time. And you said, huh? Like you don't know, huh? Stupid. Right. But y'all, you dipped. Oh, we're closing out. You know what to do.
I'm here. My fault. I'm here, man. My mom's walked in the room and shit. My bad. Yo, great show, man. I told y'all this is gonna be a great show, man. And we proved it. You know what I mean? Lot of opinions, lot of facts and opinions running side by side. Y'all gonna think about this shit after y'all done. After we done with the podcast, you think about it, you're like, yeah, we was right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, great show, man. Great show. I mean,
Word up, yo, Lispa, great to have you on again, man. It's always a pleasure to see you. You're always welcome here. You know that, bro. Shout out to the people in the comments, Curtis, I think Conway, Liddy, and Omega. Shout out to y'all participating. Another great show again, Dan. The topic was on point for today.
sure.
Stop fucking with the water. Just stop fucking with the water. You know your limits. This should be called Know Your Limits. That's what you should be doing. Know your limitations.
Yeah,
Because
it should have been that.
obviously, because obviously they went, even with the situation in Chicago, know your limitations. Like, know if you punch this woman in the face, the repercussions could prove deadly, and they were. You know what I'm saying? You gotta like really, yes, man, and you gotta just understand. Is what I'm about to do worth it? Am I gonna feel that much better after I do it? You still gonna be pissed off, but now you dead and pissed off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
your family's $250,000 out the hole and pissed off and dead.
Fact.
And that's why this show was called Ocean versus Everyone, because like you said, the Ocean is undefeated, and we're gonna make sure it stays undefeated by not going that damn far in that shit ever again. Ever. Not even again, but ever. Because we're not that stupid. With that being said,
we're gonna find some fool to do it.
Peace. We out.
Peace.